Why do many of us game? Because it's fun, entertaining, an escape, and maybe more. But with it being so fun, there are also a lot of gaming problems. A new game has just been announced, and now with a release date. But wait, is that a collector's edition? It's not even some art book. It actually comes with a bunch of good shit like a figure, the day one DLC, which is bullshit on its own, but that's for another video. And even some fangled napkin with the voice actor of the protagonist wiped his forehead on. Okay, I'm making that last part up. You're excited and go the next day to pre-order the collector's edition at this horrible spot for games. But then, you are told that the pre-orders are all gone. Wait, what? It was literally the next day after the announcements. It wasn't even a full day. Like, maybe 12 hours, and it was like at 10 a.m. too, on a weekday. Yes, what happened here was a case of an ultra small quantity of that collector's edition that the store has been allowed to give out as pre-orders. How this works is that the game company will tell each retailer how many quantities of the collector's edition they are allowed to give out as pre-orders. The company then divides the quantities amongst the stores, not evenly either, as the major stores get more, while one in, say, the boonies might get maybe one or two. Thus, what this creates is a bunch of people trying to be first in line to get to the store in the morning to make their pre-orders before it's too late. An instance of this I especially recall was the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D Special Edition that came with the Skull Kid figure. I left my place early to try and find a place with the pre-order available. I literally hit up every gaming store within the city core, and nothing. Everything had basically been gone as soon as they had opened. I don't even live in a small town either, and rather in a major city, and this happened. Thus, I had to live in anguish and misery. Another instance of this was the Tales of Xillia that came with the beautiful Mila figure that some of you may have seen on some of my other videos. I also failed to secure that in pre-order as well, and the only way I ended up getting one was the fact that I had a friend working in a gaming store who put one aside for me. Some go out of their way to line up right after the announcement at the store overnight just to get that special edition pre-ordered. You might think that is too crazy for someone to do that, and well, you're not wrong, but a lot of collectors, quote unquote, or just highly obsessive fans will badly want that. This is how I even ended up getting the Wii back in 2006. I lined up before the store had a chance of being open, and I was the second last person to get a pre-order before they ran out. But because those type of people exist, there are those who want to take advantage of the situation. We call them scalpers. If you are well aware of the amiibo situation, which also directly ties into this by the way, there are many people who don't personally give a shit about the game or its items. Some might not even be gamers for all we know. They go in, pre-order a large quantity if not all the stock of the product, and then when the product comes out, there are hardly any available for the people who want it actually, and these people then sell it for a much higher price. This became a trend ever since the amiibo days, especially where people would stock up on them and resell them for ridiculous prices. Granted, it got so bad that many stores now limit it to only one per person. This also hit other products too, including the Switch and Fire Emblem Fates and many other things. In fact, by the time Fire Emblem Fates Collector's Edition rolling around, I figured I'd have to be smart. I was working, so I was able to get a credit card and decided to try online. I also knew the online landscape was just as bad too, from the attempts with amiibos many times. So as such, and to many people's surprise, I literally followed EB Games, which is also known as Canadian GameStop, on Twitter, and they were posting on when the pre-order would be up. After refreshing repeatedly and having my account ready on their site to make a pre-order, I finally saw it up and instantly got it. And then in 10 minutes, they were all gone. Insane. And this is in Canada. In the US, that would probably run out a lot faster than just 10 minutes. This was also a very special kind of limited edition, as it was the only way you could have all three versions of Fire Emblem Fates on one cart. Otherwise, you have to buy one version and then download part 2 and 3 by a DLC. You'd think they'd make a lot more of those considering how important it was. However, notice how almost all of these examples are Nintendo based? This is because Nintendo is notorious for how limited their quantities can be for collector's editions and amiibos. While as stated earlier, Nintendo has been doing this before amiibos, and with things like Majora's Mask 3D, the amiibos got them infamous for it. Sometimes the amiibos wouldn't even appear on shelf ever, just cause of how quickly the pre-orders went, as if they've never ever existed in the first place. I remember it took me a full year till I could even find a pre-order for Marth again, and it was at some sketchy store too at that. At least it was sealed. And the biggest problem is that Nintendo to this day has done nothing to remedy this. Simply shipping more isn't so easy either, since there is especially a theory around the fact that a lot of retailers may be afraid of stocking too many amiibos due to the colossal failure of the Animal Crossing line. Yeah, I see you there, Best Buy Lottie, at your $4. I'm still not buying you. The obvious solution would be, of course, to match pre-orders. And I know this is possible since companies like Atlus have done that with the Persona 5 Collector's Edition. Thus, anyone who wanted one was able to easily get it without hassle so long as it was done before a certain cutoff date. Thus, it is mind-boggling as to why Nintendo won't do this. They could be making so much more bankings, but instead they lose out to scalpers. Now, the Switch wasn't so bad since Nintendo actually did make enough, so one was able to even walk into a store in the afternoon and make a pre-order. But even then, it still ran out, and that's simply because of how insanely high the demands were for the Switch. They would not be able to produce enough for launch. Otherwise, whether it's Nintendo or not, it is a problem and it still plagues this industry, and they really have to develop a better method to handle this for the very fans that buy their products. Hey everyone, thank you for watching The Obsessive Gamer. Gaming problems. Yes, pre-orders do piss me off that much. So like, subscribe, and share too. We'll have more very soon, in 2 weeks in fact, so thank you for watching.